Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Adrian.
Welcome to the first Saskatchewan Physio Project video on posture and alignment.
Today we're just going to go over a few things that you can be aware of while you're at work sitting at your desk.
Alright everyone, we're briefly going to be going over some quick posture points that you can be mindful of when you're sitting at your desk. It's going to help to alleviate some of the symptoms that people might have in neck pain or lower back pain. So firstly, when we're sitting at our desk, when we're going to be practicing proper alignment, we want our ears to be in line with our shoulders. So that means that we don't want our neck forward and we're not wanting our neck back too much. Next, we want our shoulders aligned with our hips. Thirdly, we want our hips, or the angle between our hips and our lower back, to be at 90 degrees. And similarly, we want the same angle with our knees as well. And lastly, we want our feet to be sitting flat on the floor. So this is a stick figure diagram that we have of a man or a woman who's sitting at their desk and they're practicing what we like to think of as ideal posture. So you can see here from the figure that the ears are lined up with the shoulders. We have a 90-degree angle between the lower back and the hips. The knees are also at 90 degrees, and this individual's feet are flat on the floor. So they're practicing good posture. So from our initial survey that we sent out to SaskTel staff, one of the common complaints that we received was neck pain. And this neck pain, we find, is often associated with misalignment of the computer screen in relation to staff that are sitting at their desk. So if we look at the whiteboard here, we have 3 points that we might expect to see the computer screen at. We might expect to see the computer screen either too high or too low, and oftentimes this can influence the angle of our neck, which can cause neck pain. So we want to make sure that when we're sitting at the desk and looking at our computer screen, we want the computer screen to be in line with our eyes so that we're not having to strain to look up or look down and cause unnecessary pain or strain in our neck.
Okay, so now that Chris has gone over proper sitting alignment with you all, I'm going to relate it to a type of chair that most of you probably sit in at work. So if you take this type of chair and you look at it, most of them usually adjust quite a bit. So I'm going to go over the ways that you can adjust them to accommodate proper sitting alignment. So as you can tell, this chair right now is set up in a really poor posture position for me. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to bring my body upright, and I'm going to need to bring my feet down to the floor so that I'm in proper sitting posture. So in order to do that, we're going to need to adjust a couple things in the chair. So most of your chairs probably have multiple adjustments. So as you can see, by moving that, I moved my backrest up, and now I am able to maintain an upright position throughout my ears, shoulders, and hips. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to move me so that I'm a little bit leaned forward. So that instead of leaning backwards into the chair, I'm actually using my body to align itself. And then the last thing that we're going to do is going to lower the feet down to the floor so that I have that 90-degree angle in my leg. And I'm making contact with the floor for a nice supported sitting posture. Now that my chair is set up properly, we're just going to give you a visual of what Chris was talking about with your computer. If you use a computer lots, oftentimes either it's too high or too low, causing that strain on your neck. So if you just look at me, for example, if your monitor was too low, you're going to be spending all day looking down like so, and you're going to have a lot of stress throughout your back of your neck, and you're going to have an overpowered front of your neck. So that's one of the faults that lots of people can have. And the other would be having their monitor set too high, which would cause them to be kind of torqued backwards all day, causing a little bit of pressure and compression in your neck, and as well as a little bit of uncomfortable position to maintain all day. So what we're looking for is your monitor to be set up right in line with your eyes so that you're not having to strain your neck down or up at all within the day. Another thing that arose from our survey at the beginning of this program was pain in the wrists. So a common cause of that could be your keyboard placement in relation to your body. So this is just a normal table here, and it's not going to be indicative of what your desk is per se. But for example, if you have a keyboard that's going to be too high, you're going to have your wrist in this really awkward flexed position, and you're going to be kind of reaching for the keyboard. Also, another problem would be if it's too low. So that would indicate a little bit of pain throughout here, where you're going to have this overextended wrist, and you're kind of maybe even going to get thrown out of alignment because you're going to be bent over and rotated forward a bit. So what we're looking for is actually so that your wrist is really nice and neutral in a comfortable position with your elbow kind of at a 90-degree angle, so that you can maintain your upright posture and your hands are in a comfortable position.
Lastly, we're going to be going over 2 quick stretches that you can do while you're at your desk to help alleviate some of the pain that you might be experiencing in your neck or in your shoulders while you're sitting at your desk. So the first one that we're going to be doing is a neck stretch. And firstly, we're going to be starting with our neck leaning over to either shoulder and rolling the neck down over to the other shoulder and then rolling back. That's going to be considered 1 rep. We're going to be doing that 5 times. So down to 1 shoulder and back is 1, 2, etc., all the way up to 5. The second stretch that we're going to be doing is a stretch for our chest. A lot of the times when people are experiencing upper back or neck pain, it's not due to their neck or their back at all. It's actually due to their chest, and it's their chest that's pulling them forward into an uncomfortable position. So to stretch our chest, we're going to be sitting up nice and tall in our chairs like we're always going to be doing now, and we're going to be putting our hands up facing the sky in front of us and bringing our arms out to the side until we feel a nice stretch up in the chest here. You can hold this for a number of seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and then bring your arms back to the middle, or you can do more of a dynamic or movement stretch where we're bringing our hands out and coming back, and we're cycling through that movement to give some tension to our chest, but then at the same time allowing our chest to relax. Alright, thank you everyone for watching. Before we conclude this video for this week, I have 2 personal goals that I like to give the staff. Firstly, adjust your chair, keyboard, and monitor in relation to your desk. As we discussed, this is going to help address a lot of the symptoms related to posture. Secondly, at least try and go for 1 or 2 walks throughout the day, even if it's 1 or 2 minutes. Taking breaks and moving around, taking a break from sitting all day is going to help to influence good posture, and it's going to help release some of the tension that we might be experiencing in our muscles due to sitting for so long.
Okay, and for myself as well, I have a couple of goals that I'd like to give you guys. First of all, just try to do those stretches that we showed you at least 3 times a day. Set reminders for yourself, whether it be on your phone, sticky note on your computer. No matter what, you'll just have something there to tell you and remind you to get up and go or do a stretch. And lastly, just try to be more aware of your alignment and your environment and how it affects your alignment. And even just watch each other a little bit if you know someone else is struggling with some pain or something, and you notice they're not in alignment. Just maybe give them a few cues if they're open to it. So yeah, I guess that'll conclude our video this week, and we'll see you guys next Monday.